Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of A.T.O.M RPG. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're supposed to join me today because we're going into the castle, and Okay, well, first off, this is not a castle. It's a fortified house, but it's not a castle. We can get that out of the way. So we're going into this fortified house that they call castle. Because, of course, castle is a descriptive term that can be a descriptive term anyway. When I say it's not a castle, what I mean is it's not an actual medieval castle. The ones that we classify as historians, we classify as castle. It's just a fortified house. But they can be, because do you know that saying that they can be called it can be called a castle. Do you know that saying that says, how does that go? The house of a castle. That's a saying for that. Oh, that's a thing over there. That's definitely a thing over there. Every house is somebody's castle or something. Yeah, it's a thing. You can oh, it's a pipe rifle. That can be good. We last episode we learned how to make a magazine rifle, so we might be in with a shot here. Let's see. So I'm looking. There's an actual sniper rifle. Maybe that is this magazine rifle, the first ingredient over there. Okay, so what I want to look at, that's not it. Custom rifle, that is it. So we're gonna need junk, and a lot of looking glasses. Not looking glasses; those aren't looking glasses. They're reading glasses. They're not reading glasses either. What are they called? They're lenses. I suppose that's sort of not really very descriptive. I'm sure they have a name, right? These guys are friendly. I don't know what are they? I don't have any, but still. Anyway, let's have a chat with them. That guy doesn't have shoes. You approach the gates leading to an impressive old fortified house. The only barriers between you and its cozy courtyard, if it were a castle, it would be known as a bailey, but it isn't, is a shaggy guard who's closely watching your every action. Finally, the guard starts speaking in a rough, hoarse voice, but not entirely evil voice, though. That's a weird way of phrasing that. Well, I'll decide if he's evil or not. Also, why would he be entirely evil? He likes my prices, though, so that's pretty good. Healing powder. Anyway.
And who are you? Just don't tell me that Jafarov, the guide, led you here.
No, it wasn't the Jafarov.
Good. He's getting on my nerves by crawling everywhere. I get that he's a guide and so on, but that does not give him permission to go where he's not allowed to go, and especially not to guide strangers here. Don't listen to me, buddy. I'm just venting. Are you here to see the dread? It's weird. He's in the main hall, but let me warn you, he's in a bad mood, and he has a good reason for it. But still, he can be tough, especially on strangers. The man, he's quite a hothead.
Thanks for the advice. Who's this dread you talk about?
Wait a second. It wasn't him that you wanted to meet? Why did you come here, then?
I'm looking for someone.
I see. Someone from the castle?
Not really.
Well, then go and talk to Dread.
The Dread. I'm sorry. He's very specific about us calling him the Dread, but we don't capitalize the duh. It's complicated. Anyway,
he's the boss around here. But remember, he's in a bad mood, like he usually is.
Sure. So, what did Jafarov, the guy, do to you?
Personally, I have nothing against him. But damn, we are a private security agents here, and we are guarding whatever they tell us to. And he is always trying to sneak past us everywhere. He's a curious man. He loves hiking, climbing to the mountain peaks. And he will guide anyone as long as they pay well, especially to the places that shouldn't be visited.
So what are the places that shouldn't be visited? The guard looks at you suspiciously and shakes his head.
Want to know more? Go ask the Dread. He's our boss. He should know this better, that better than anyone.
I understand. Okay. The guard closes his eyes slightly and stretches his shoulders with a rustle. Can I ask you some questions?
Go ahead. It's not like I have anything better to do.
So how did you get a fortified house like this?
Simple, really. It was here even before the war, all empty. I heard that Dan's gang, he's a mob kingpin. I heard that they gotten a whole factory near Krasnoznameni under their command. Yeah, some people do have it all. And us here in the mountains, well, at least the view is pleasant.
Yeah, well, a fortified house is a serious thing, I would say. May I ask you something else?
I am listening.
So, I don't know why I bothered reading that line. Anyway, my line. Because it's just a... Let me ask you some more questions. What is your relationship with the Caravanserai?
Hell knows. The Dread is still mad at their commander, Makhumudov, claiming that Makhumudov has stolen the best location. The Dread wants our castle to become the main transit point here in the mountains. Let's be realistic. Our castle isn't... I'm sorry. The fortified house here isn't entirely suitable for that. It's windy. The walls are full of rats. There's no real road for the cars to reach here. Kind of a hub would that be?
So what's new around here?
Not much. Just that the daughter of the Dread, our boss, has recently disappeared. She's smart. I'm not worried about her. But her father, obviously, is going crazy. It's understandable. He knows that this mountain pass is the back of her hand.
Of his hand? She knows. Yeah, okay.
But there are all kinds of creatures creeping around.
See, you can use the word "but" properly. There you go. Have you heard any rumors?
I've heard that not far from Krasnoznameni there's a forest. People call it the Roaring Forest or something else, I don't know. I'm not sure. And I've heard that it's kind of an interesting place. Mystical even. I wish I could see it with my own eyes. Try to figure out its riddles.
Right. Sure. Riddles. You must not know what riddles are then. I will see you later, Mr. Shoeless Man. Well, look at that. We have a place. Good. Oh, look at that. These guys are getting ready with wood. Yeah, there's a lot of wood all over the place. Let's go in here. This is not the main hall, which is a good thing, because you... Oh! I'll get the scrap. Thank you. Not the lenses, though. I need the lenses and the tin cans. I can't do anything with the well. You should always be able to do things with the wells. Especially if you have ropes. I see you. And it's 50 rubles, just standing there. That's a hobo stash. It's sort of weird that they would leave it there, but whatever. And we have somebody over here. Tanned, beard, and with a whole set of golden teeth in his mouth. That's this guy over here. It's just a whole set. He's armed with a well-cleaned automatic rifle. As well, he is. He's a thin man of about 35, and he greets you with an energetic gesture, which you can't describe, let alone identify, and he invites you to come closer. Salam, buddy! So I see that you're wandering through our castle without having met... Sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, I see that you're wandering through our fortified house without having met the famous Gazi-Mohammad. That's no good. Give me your hand. Nice to meet you, Gazi-Mohammad. Could you answer a couple questions for me? Maybe before I ask you some questions. Why did I have to meet you? The man stands up and enthusiastically pats you on the back. Please don't do that. Because I enjoy talking to people. Discuss stuff. Especially when a traveler just shows up and asks questions. Some people refuse, but not me. No. I'm always happy to chat. And sell? Not really. Cucumber brine, though. Also, he sells the cucumbers, I would assume. Not the brine, specifically. So where are you from, buddy? I came upon this mountain pass 3 years ago. When I left my native city of Belorenchensk. Don't ask. They welcomed me here with their arms wide open since I had my own gun and was sharp and loyal. Gazi-Mohammad fit right in here. Were you loyal? How could they tell? The teeth? Maybe. Anyway, what can you tell me about this castle? Sorry, fortified house. I still haven't figured out whether we are a gang of mobsters, a security company, or a bunch of boys playing fort. That is... I think they... Ooh. I think they're using that dash as a colon, as the little two dots, one on top of the other, which would be still not really wrong or not really right to use over here, but it wouldn't be completely wrong because we do have an enumeration right after. So I suppose you could justify it. You still wouldn't do it because that's just not how it's normally done. However, does Russian, for some reason, use dashes instead of colons more often than other languages, even if it's wrong? Because yeah, maybe in Russian it's correct. And I asked that because in Pathfinder Kingmaker, who's written by Russians as well, they use dashes all over the place. That annoys me so much because that's not how it's used. But they use it as colons a lot, but also as commas sometimes. And it just annoys me, and I rant a lot about that in that Let's Play. Anyway, well, the most important thing is that I felt welcomed here, and I see a lot of new faces on duty here. Okay, what did I just ask you? What can you tell me about this castle? Sure. What about the mountain pass? The best thing about this place is that no one has ever thought of bombing it. You know, here the nature survived, and not all animals have turned into mutants. There are cruel people here, though, and a stone can roll down a mountain and hit you in the head. I suppose it can. What rumors, though? I've heard that there's a lost army convoy untouched by time somewhere around here. They say that it has been attacked. Untouched by time after it was attacked. It's confusing. Anyway, even before all the nuclear weapons came. I wonder if there's any good loot left there, or did everything turn to dust and salt because of the mountain winds? Sure. Is that what happens to things? Well, I guess that's that. Our buddy over here, Gazi-Mohammad, interesting with the dash. That's a specific rule that I do not know how you would do that. A young man sips beer from a foggy pre-war bottle, leaning over the stone wall of the castle, the fortified house. He should be up there, maybe. As he sees you, he finishes his beer, throws the bottle aside, and squats with a huge smile on his face. He already had a huge smile on his face already. The Dread told me his den is so quiet and peaceful that even a reckless guy like Mr. Matthew can wait out here without any unexpected visitors. Has he broken his promise? Or are you a friend? His name is Mr. Matthew. Are you not from around here? How many years ago did the Soviet Union collapse, mate? No one has to call himself comrade anymore, even though you didn't. Anyway. Oh, right, because it's based on the Mr., so he wouldn't be Comrade Matthew. Although a lot of people still do, though, call themselves comrade. Get to the real world. Say hi to today, he says. Personally, I stick to the word comrade, says Oxygen, because comrades still live in this post-nuclear hell, and Mr. Sirs and other peers were wiped off the face of the earth by our glorious light-delivering, peace-transporting warheads. Did you check it yourself, old man? Asks Matthew. What if they're across the border, they skulk in the ruins of some Cambridge, just like us, fending off tin food? Well, sure, I'm just used to the local equivalent, I guess, of Mr. It's not really equivalent. Comrade is gender neutral. It works in a lot of different, and also it has to do with other things as well, but it works in a lot of different. It's not the equivalent of Mr. Anyway, let's change Mr. Comrade. There we go. Mr. Comrade is his name now. Let's change the subject. Sure. I'm looking for our mutual pal, Chigurov. The man squints cheekily, winks at you, and says, "What did you say? Cheburov? Never heard the name." Well, I'm not very good at this, sir. Did you just say you didn't know? Maybe if I knock a couple of your teeth out, it'll improve your articulation. Hey, those threats might earn you a hole in your guts, you know? Especially insubstantial threats like that. Okay, I'm not going to harm you out of respect for the owner of this pile of stones, but don't bother me with this Chigurov anymore. I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know either, but I'm gonna attack you and see what happens. Want to risk your life, sheethead? I wish I could just stop. What does he have? He doesn't have anything. Everybody. You shot my dog! Right. It's a better circumstance than being thrown a grenade in the face in the bar. After saying something to somebody. Oh, you're missing. Good for me. Well, he's dead. Yeah, we're never getting out of here. Doggo is going away, as he should. That's fine though. I just wanted to see what happened. I wanted to see if he belonged to it's quick saves, yeah. If he belonged to different factions or whatnot. So, I want to look and see Old Castle, that's the one. In the mountain pass of Oz, there's an old castle. Inside, I might find some guy named Mr. Matthew who can tell me more about the bandit named Chigurov. Didn't mean to mute the game. So I will probably need to drink some beer. That's fine. We can do that later. A bearded man with a close-cut black hair and with weathered coarse skin walks to and fro from time to time, casting an odd glance in the into the distance. And as he notices you, he nods silently, continuing munching on his biscuit, heretofore unmentioned biscuit. You nod noisily normally, but he just did it silently. That is good. A lot of bullets in there. It's good stuff. These guys are well equipped. Hey, what are you on the watch out for? The man swallows his biscuit loudly, extracts another one from his pocket, and gives a short and clear answer.
The enemy.
Do you have many enemies?
Not anymore. But they can always appear, new one and stuff. That's why I'm watching.
What will happen when you notice an enemy?
I'll call for the guard at the gate, and we'll block all the entrances. I'll lead snipers to the towers. Men with rifles will occupy their positions at the arrow slits in the walls. Other men will drive out the machine gun and install it in the front of the gate. Somebody will hide a couple of mines in the sand at the entrance. We'll hold the fort.
Then how often do you get attacked?
Last big attack happened many months ago. This is a good location, though. Many people here have eyes on it.
No, many people have eyes on it. Which is a bad location. Wait, no. Many people... Right, okay, many people want to take it because it's a good location. No... You wouldn't want a conspicuous location. Sure, it's conspicuous. The good thing about this castle is that it's defensible. Because there's only one place of attack, and also it's higher up, which doesn't really work as well for I say castle, again, fortified house. It doesn't work necessarily better for rifles, but sure, whatever. Questions? The man nods at you and takes another biscuit out of his pocket. Now he has two in his hands. Apparently, he has a bag full of this unpretentious food. You haven't... Narrator, you haven't eaten the biscuits I have. I will show you the most pretentious biscuits in your life.
Ask away.
What's your name?
Dzano.
What do you do?
I'm a sniper and an observer. I have the sharpest eyes. No one sees in the distance better than me.
Does it feel good living in a fortified house?
There are droughts, and it's freezing in the winter. Otherwise, it's fine. It protects you from the wind and evil men alike.
Does it? I wonder how... Does it? Does it protect from the wind without glass in the windows? Are you sure? Sure. Any good rumors?
Some people have recently gone down the road that leads nowhere.
It's a road down there. Anyway, they paid us too, so that we don't let anyone else follow them.
That's very weird.
It is. I want that. I want to know about those guys. Those people. And we know his name as well. Chano. I want to know how it's pronounced. It's a very... I don't know. I don't know. And you shot me. A short-tanned woman with oriental features nods at you and grabs her automatic rifle with her left hand to extend her right hand in greeting. Now, shouldn't they all have oriental features? Because they're all from Russia. I think this is the racist way of saying oriental, though. Because she is looking... She looks a little bit Indian to me. So, yeah, that's basically what that means. Because Orient... well, actually, in English it doesn't work very well, because the word itself comes from it just means eastwardly. That's where orientation comes from, for example. I wonder, actually, now that I think about it, about orientation, the word orientation. Do you know how our maps get the north turning up? I think the Vikings, their maps had the east turning up. Well, I say turning up, I mean, the north is to the upper part of the paper when you have a map. I think the Vikings had their maps the other way around, and I'm not the other way around, but the east upwards. So the north would be to the west, to the left side. And I think the Russians did as well, or well, I say the Russians, but I mean some of the people that lived in the lands that are nowadays Russia had that tradition as well. And I don't know if I don't know of any in particular, but I wonder if that word the word orientation has anything to do with that in particular, finding the east first. Also because the east is just a very easy place to find in general, because that's where the sun comes up, and you're just like coming out of your camp and oh, there's the sun, that's the east, let's do the thing. I don't know, maybe that's the reason. So yeah, that's what the word actually means. They're all Russian, except maybe not Mr. Matthew. I don't know if he's a backer or something. But this is not okay to use. That is just super bad. Yeah. You unwittingly answer her gesture. Oh, because she grabs her automatic rifle with her left hand and to extend her right hand in greeting. Right. Dorud Bar Shoma, traveler. I hope that our house in the Valley of Winds and Robbers is welcoming you with open arms. That's an odd greeting. What language is that? Yeah, she's definitely Indian. She's Farsi. The language is called Farsi. The words mean greetings to you. The devoted Baghdins of my faith prefer this word to the word, the more common, salam. Am I mistaken on that? Farsi... Yeah. I remember... I'm thinking it is Farsi, because I looked up native languages. I was looking up, but it's been a while, so I don't know, the native languages of India, and there's a few of the... not native, I was specifically looking for official languages. And I think there's 3 of them, and one of them, I think that it's English, and then it's Farsi as well. I think, but I might be wrong on that. Anyway, oh, look at that! It's if it isn't a secret, and I can ask her about her religion, and it's Zoroastrianism. She says people here know our faith to be Zoroastrianism. That's a real thing, I think. We believe that all things are created by the blessed Creator, the infinite God Ahura Mazda. It's interesting. Every man and everything came out of his light pure and immaculate. Evil in the world exists thanks to the evil spirit, the enemy of the god, called Angra Mainyu. He is unable to create anything himself, but he can infect already existing things with evil. For example, the power of the atom is essentially good. It's meant to provide this world with energy, but if you put this energy into a rocket and launch it to kill people, the good will become evil. Like my husband Aziz, he was always a faithful, sensitive person. Who was? Oh no, yeah. She's not comparing anything to her husband. She's just saying my husband Aziz was always a faithful and sensitive person. But then Angra Mainyu showed up dressed as a mean-spirited dealer called Sasha and poisoned him with his cursed drug poison. Oh, I killed your husband. Now my beloved husband is avoiding me and our brothers in arms. Yeah, I killed him. He's not going to show up. He takes his poison in solitude, wastes away, wither... Oh, no, wait. I was thinking of the suspicious liquid that some man was holding in the other place. Wastes away, withers, becomes rude and cruel. Maybe you could talk some sense into him, traveler. He's used to our cursing and begging. Maybe the words of a stranger would have a better effect. What is your husband hooked on? There are different addictions, after all. It's a new drug. It's called Black Lotus. It's a weird and creepy name. People say that it's produced somewhere in the jungle, far away and to the southwest from here. Will it help Aziz? Actually, I don't know. I'll try to help your husband, even though I'm not sure. Thank you so much. He must be somewhere in the castle. Okay, he's not dead. Good for you, I suppose, and for him. Ask from everyone else. I understand. Can I ask you some questions? Sure. What are you doing here? I am Irulan, she says. Oh, that's her name. Right. My husband Aziz and I were raised to become mercenaries to earn our livelihood by going to wars. When we arrived to this place, it was under the siege of a powerful gang. We rescued Edward's men, helped him break the blockade, and earned our place amongst his best warriors. Well, it's quite a story, I suppose. What can you tell me about this castle? It's been here for many centuries, she says, but it's built from such heavy rocks that no storm was ever... It's also not a castle. No storm was ever able to damage it, and it won't have a chance now because the days of this dying world are numbered, and soon the fire of Ahura Mazda will melt it down to be reborn. What can you tell me about the Mountain Pass of Woes? Interesting that pass is not capitalized there. It's a harsh place, but my husband Aziz and I are used to harsh conditions. We were brought up with the idea, excuse the hiccup, that it strengthens character. Yeah, I don't actually know if Zoroastrianism is anything to do has anything to do with Hinduism, but the notion, of course, of pain being purifying is very typical of Hinduism, as far as I know. Or is that Buddhism? Although Buddhism also has roots in Hinduism. I don't know. I'm not very well versed in Eastern culture, I suppose. I say Eastern, but I'm from Portugal, so to the east. So, you know. Anyway, care to share some local gossip with me? Some people say the Red Waterfall is in fact a legendary river that makes you lose your memory if you drink from it. They're terribly wrong. The river is located elsewhere, but I won't tell you where. That's, sure, I suppose. Terribly wrong, that is one way of saying it. Anyway, that's gonna be that for today. We know Irulan, and we need to find Iza, because he is addicted to Black Lotus. That's gonna be a long and hard journey to getting him unaddicted to opioids, basically, because I think that's the Lotus is where... There's a lot of poppies around here as well, so I don't know. I don't know how you make opium. You need to look it up. But that's going to be that for right now. I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Atom RPG. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.